working and live. I don't know. I'll let the intro play out while people join. My Twitch didn't update. I made sure to change that too. I won't do that through the phone anymore, I guess. Let me fix that. It's always something, right? 1 second. Twitch is so slow. Let's do this. Where's the thing? Hey guys, give me a second. Twitch didn't actually apply any of my changes, so I have to do it all over again. I did it through my phone and I guess I just didn't save. So I won't do that anymore. Hey Danny. You people have him to thank for having this. Should be good now, right? I think everything updated this time, hopefully. Yes, he made DMC2. That was all him, especially the singer. I'll play. So this is a old build of the game from a couple months before it released. This was a demo that they had that was playable to the public, either in E3 or TGS. And we had only ever had a video and an article from IGN of a guy playing this. And it was a really low quality video. It didn't really show anything too well. But there were a couple differences that were like right out the gate we just noticed. And I'm going to show a couple of those things today. First of all, right at the options screen, you can see that there's a setting that says controls. There was originally supposed to be an option for switching your control type, just like DMC1, and we have the textures for all that and everything. I can't show any of that today, but since it's here, I can at least mention that was a thing. It's not accessible in this build, but it did exist. And I think the subtitles couldn't be changed in the final game as well. Could be wrong, but I'd have to check that. So, like I said, this is a 2-mission demo. It's fairly long, considering, you know, there was supposed to be a line of people playing this game. First mission is the same mission that you've seen before with a couple of changes. And the second mission is actually one that they've shown off in promotional images. And I never actually knew that that was a playable mission. I always just thought that was, you know, it was promo crap or whatever. It turns out those promo screenshots are from this demo, and it's actually a Lucia mission where she goes up the clock tower that jumped off of. The very first difference is the slightly higher poly Rebellion, which, again, thanks to the leak, we actually do have this model. It looks a little weird. But either way, I thought that, it was just some cutscene model or something that they were using, but again, it turns out it was using the demo, which happened to be the case with quite a few things, and that was kind of cool to see. So the structure of this mission is more or less the same. There's only one or two major differences near the end. There are no red orb caches, except for one at the very end, but you notice right there, normally the camera's supposed to switch here, that wasn't finished. You can see through the, if you can see Dante's head right there. Right beneath his torso, that area is missing a texture. That was also fixed in the final version of the game. And there's a lot of stuff like that. I'm gonna do a normal playthrough of these first two missions, and then on the next playthrough that I do on the same stream, I'm gonna go over some of the things I found through hex editing, show you some of the things that are hidden within the code, and show something that the public has not seen before and didn't even know about. I had no plans to show this off until I realized that it was in the demo as well. There's no secret orb cache up there either. There's no blue orb up here, of course, because why would there be? Get a better look at the Rebellion there. Dante is also just a little bit different. He's kind of dead in the eyes. I guess it matches the game, but he definitely wasn't finished. I should probably turn this down, because this game is loud. There we go. The sign is still the same. One thing I noticed is that if you fire quick enough, it starts to skip a couple of your shots. It skipped one right there. I don't know why that is. I don't know if they just didn't expect people to mash or whatever. There's no cutscene here as well. It's only like a real-time cutscene that plays. So anyone who is familiar with this game would have probably noticed that high time looks a little bit different. And you'd be right to think that. This is actually an animation for high time that we had never seen before. I don't even think it was in the IGN video. I think he just never did it. Same for the hold animation. There's no screen shake on it. I don't even think there's a blur on it. It's just the sword trail. But it looks really rough. It does look a complete circle around his body. It's a little bit faster than the retail version too, but he doesn't take a step forward or anything. He just stays completely still. And if you repeat it, it doesn't have the effect anymore. So it's definitely an early animation that they weren't gonna stick with. A7X. The roll also feels like it goes way further than it does in the base game. See, I almost covered entire street. I think it would still take about like 2 rolls to get from this end to this one in the final game, but not quite like that. This isn't different at all. There's also no secret missions in this. What's going on? Salt fart. What a name. There's also an extra fight here. Normally it's just the birds, but for some reason they decided that they were going to have these guys here too. Jumping also has no iframes in this version for some reason. Either not finished or they didn't want them. And rolling also doesn't maintain your style rank. Now, I'll show this during the second playthrough, but normally there's a secret mission here, and while there isn't a secret mission in this version of the game, there is something behind this door, and I'll show that off second playthrough. No red orb cache here either. There isn't going to be anything too different until we get to the Syrah fight. For now, it's mostly the same. Your Devil Trigger build is also extremely good in comparison to the final version of the game. I feel like the DT Drain is also a little bit more excessive. I actually didn't know this attack was in the demo. I had never gotten hit by that. Although that's not... it isn't anything unused. That's also in the final version. But that kind of tells me that this demo is on at least hard mode. I don't think they do that on normal. That would explain why one of the upcoming fights takes as long as it does. Oh, should probably mention this. So just like the DMC1 trial from long ago, the control scheme is a little bit different, and the moves are organized slightly differently. In the final game, you can hold R2 or RT, depending on what you're playing on, and it'll override your lock-on, right? That doesn't happen in this build. In this build, what R2 does, it actually switches targets. So as soon as you're in a fight, you are locked to into your lock-on. And on top of that, Stinger is normally forward plus lock-on plus melee. But in this, for some reason, it's any direction plus lock-on plus melee. And that means that High Time has to be on something else, right? High Time is literally just lock-on plus melee. I don't know why they felt that was necessary, but what that means is you can also use your ground combos and select them after you swing at least once while holding lock-on. Normally you can't do that in the final version. The whole control scheme is just a mess, either version of it. I just got comboed by that. Now, there's no divinity statue in this version, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist somewhere in the code. I just haven't found it yet. Normally, it's supposed to be right around here, somewhere. So, the fight here is just slightly different. These enemies, now that we have the leak, we were able to see all this, they went through a lot of phases in terms of aesthetics. From different models to different textures, this was definitely dominant in an unused, unfinished state. Because one of their attacks doesn't even connect properly, it never hits you. There's also a texture that we have never seen before. I don't even think I saw it in the leak. Not sure though. Thanks, boy. There's also no health bar on the screen for any enemy in this build. Not sure why. A little bit. That sweep was always there, yeah. As you can see, the hitboxes are not finished. They miss on a lot of enemies, more so than the final game. I just wanted to roll. This is definitely still the same game, you know. So now we're gonna see one of the major differences between the demo and any retail version of the game. Also, I can hit this for some reason. I don't know why. So normally, you collect the key, you go through the store or whatever, and then there's two like coffins or like elevated parts on the floor, and then another door that leads to a loading screen. But in this version of the game, for some reason, it's completely open. And it's all one big connected level with no loading in between. I'm not sure why they felt it was necessary to put in a load screen, but, you know, it's there now. Must have just been performance or something. Now, this is not exactly the same village from the retail version of the game. It's actually an alternate path that was blocked off in the final game. I still haven't even created an entire map of the retail version, but I did make one of this demo version, and I'll show the biggest difference for so normally you go down here, right? And you go straight into like that little plaza area or whatever, like a square. But in the demo, you had the option of taking a right and going down this little corridor or whatever. There's two fights here. And there are only like little breadcrumbs left over of this section in the final game. And I'll show that it's coming up right here. I have no idea why this place is here. There's no secret mission. I don't know if they wanted to have one here. But eventually this whole area was cut. There's no secret red orbs or anything. A couple of extra fights. Show you all the camera angles that exist here, because there are unique camera angles for all these rooftops. And that extends all the way over here to the beginning of the room. Now the rest of Village, the other side, is pretty much the same. There's a staircase right over here that was cut from the game, and they were really clean about how they removed this. I never would have thought that there was another section to this, but they just wiped it completely. If you didn't know that this is here, you wouldn't even be able to tell that anything was cut, because there's such a like consistency between the quality of the textures that they placed here and the rest of the game. Now this part I've also never seen in promotional material, trailers, anything. There's also a extra camera angle here that we haven't seen before, and I always wondered what this little like patch of grass was for. It was for that. It was for that little section for you to fall into. You can still get on here in retail, but this little square right here is covered up by more of this. You never would have known it was there. And down here, it's the extra fight. I think there's one less enemy. The lightning also hits really, really well in this on Stinger. Hey, folks. Doesn't really matter if I waste my DT because I'm not gonna get to keep it. Most of them are same, really, except for this one. The only difference on this section is that you can go up here a little bit further than usual. In retail, I think you'd hit the trigger like right around here, and then in this demo you actually have to like go on this. There's a lot of that, boy. You're forgetting this game, what it was about. It was not about being kind to the player. So this is the Lucia mission. This should be mission 2, I think, in the final version. Now, actually, one more detail is in the Lucia disc, when you save the game on mission 1, I think the screenshot is actually of this village, the cut one from this demo. I think they forgot, or they just did not have time to change it before release. I have to double check on that, but when I was looking through the textures, I noticed that. No, they don't. That's the thing. They don't have both characters on. You play this as Dante, and this cutscene coming up actually is used in the introduction. It's really strange. Danny Starkov bought it, and then he just gave it over to me so that I could try it out, data mine it and stuff. We also didn't know there was a demo. We learned like a couple months ago. So, in the introduction, I think it's either before or after they cut to that cutscene of the motorcycle. This cutscene, is either before or after that section of the introduction. Yeah, I haven't forgotten, dude. This DT model is also very unfinished and different. There's no coat. At the aerial heart. And I'll get into the hearts on the second playthrough. Pretty much all of the amulet pieces are in this demo. But a couple of them are not finished. They just don't work. But you'll see that all later on. There's a lot of stuff that is not normally accessible, but is in the demo. One thing I noticed too is that it feels like it takes a little bit longer to get enemies launched up with DNI. Like they deal less stun or something. Yeah, they're different pieces of the amulet, and they all have like different effects in combat. Just the high time. The high time is completely different. Actually, here, take a look. It looks fucking awful. So this, now that we have the DT pool here, it's a good time to show this stuff off. Also, the hand, the stun animation is rough, to say the least. Definitely not finished. So good look at the DT. The feet are like this entire like single streak of lines. It's really awkward, and only the left forearm has the diamond studs or whatever for the chain guns. It's kind of hard to see, but I think he only has 2 barrels. Oh, no, he might have more. Hard to really tell. The effects on the sword swings are a lot more detailed than what the final game offers. They're also a nicer color too. No, I think it zooms out for the... Yeah, it zooms out for the goats. But I'll make a tweet with screenshots or something. I thought there was another one. Oh my god. Okay. I don't know why he went flying. Oh, this one? Somewhere around here. No, whatever. We have a better opportunity and a much closer camera that was cut from the final game. Show later. And so I'll show a bunch of other DT stuff anyways. Or... He's trying so hard. You got it, man. You can do it. Look at that DT gain, man. I actually don't know the structure of this level too well, so I couldn't say if there are any differences, but it feels more or less the same. Yeah, figured as much. When you shoot something, the hit sparks are also a little different. It's like a little tiny red circle for some reason. I don't know if that's showing up on stream or not, but... another thing I noticed is that when we saw this this demo in some footage really early on, we noticed that round trip had like this weird cancel, and it turns out it's not actually the round trip. It's just the air rate itself. You can like kind of JC into it. Very weird. while they're fighting. There's literally no difference. Yeah, they're all just excluded from the demo. Yep, no boss names. The only guy with a health bar too. Onion. Yeah, we still get the Arcana here. Normally there's blue orbs here, I think? Here there's just red orbs. What a stinger. The introduction also shows that there is a swirling camera angle in one of the areas of the game. That was also present here. This was changed in the final game. Not sure why. It's not really intrusive or anything. I guess they just felt it was too random. This one's the same. And there's nothing else about this section that's interactable. You can always make your way back down if you wanted to. Also, roll and Stinger do not keep you airborne like they do in the final game. And there you have it. There are the 2 missions available officially in the demo. I looked around to see if there were any other missions. Doesn't seem like it. When we switch stuff around in the memory, they're all empty. However, that is not all there is to show for this demo. And I'm going to go over some of the stuff I found by just data mining and memory editing. Some of it is kind of cool. Some of the things are just kind of insignificant, but they're still neat to see. So that's exactly what... Let me make a save state here, because something I can only show off properly if I load in to the level after switching in my table. So, hook up the table. This thing. Now, this is not everything. I'm not good at this shit. I learned how to do this sort of stuff like last week. But I was able to find things like amulets and switching around the guns and the swords and stuff. And I can force all that to show up in the demo. That's exactly what we're gonna do. And before it just crashes or something. So, normally you are given Rebellion, E&I, and that's your lot, right? But with the size of the demo, I figured, there's probably other stuff in here. So I went to go look for whatever handles, swapping swords and other weapons. So let's do exactly that. So you guys remember that the game has 3 swords total, and none of them do anything unique. 3 swords if you don't include Force Edge. Those swords are in this game with a couple of extras. So, first one is Merciless, and as you can tell, Merciless has a different texture. It's all white on the blade, and the bottom piece that I'm forgetting the name of right now, the thing near, just above Dante's head actually, that is also a slightly different color compared to the retail version. Other than that, there are no actual differences. Strength, just distance, exactly like the final game. Now, the other sword that takes the place of the Vendetta is one that I was going nuts trying to find anything on it. It is not present in any of the other builds. This is the only public release that has it. A long time ago, there was this Alistair-looking sword. That sword is in this build for some reason, and it takes the place of Vendetta. It's a really tiny, short sword. It has no special effects. It's just stronger than the rest because, you know, it's in the Vendetta slot. We can actually get a closer look at these swords if we go forward a little bit. Get up to the this area over here. Up. There we go. I have no idea why they did this, but the texture of the sword is nearly all black. It's fixable like really easily. I just didn't do it for this because I wanted to show it exactly how it is in this version of the demo. But you can look up old promotional screenshots of DMC2 and you'll see this thing everywhere. No idea why they decided to keep it in this demo, or if they just didn't know or what, but it's here. And that's it for the swords. Now the guns are also here. The other three are unfinished, but E&I is the only one that is pretty much done, other than Twosome Time being a little bit too sensitive, and he tries to, you know, Twosome Time and hit other enemies that he probably shouldn't be, because they're too far away, or they're too high or too low. They haven't even spawned yet, and he'll start trying to do it. That's like the only difference I've noticed in E&I, aside from the audio cutting out when you mash fast enough. The first set of guns is the MP5s. They aren't really too different, aside from using a different sound. And it cuts out when you shoot them in the air. More or less the same as they are in the final build. But they're here and they're usable. The next set, or the next gun, is a little bit more interesting. It's the shotgun. Anyone who's played the final version of the game knows that this has a couple of extra moves. But first of all, sound is missing. The impact sound is there, but just like DMC1, whenever you do any other action, like swinging your sword or moving left and right, just strafing, it'll cancel the shot. So you can just, you know, machine gun the fucking shotgun. Also, it buffers in your shots. It's way too sensitive. I could just, like, mash the shoot button. I did that, like, really close together, and it fired both shots. Obviously, because of the way that the inputs and the commands are handled for the moves, that means that the input for the shotgun is different, because you can't hold block on since you'll get high time. Here's the cartwheel, also missing sounds. Fireworks. Also missing muzzle flash. Yeah, it's got the, like, the emissions or whatever. And finally, this one is extremely unfinished. No sounds. Although they do hit. Every single one of these attacks works. And the final weapon is the Stinger. This thing is, I think, not even animated? Something like that? Yeah, it doesn't even move. It's extremely slow. Has no rocket on it. Dante doesn't holster his pistol when he goes to fire it either. He just keeps it in his hand and it looks goofy. Fire in the air normally. Twosome Time works with this as well. Again, just like shotgun, the MP5s, it does hit. But there's no explosion textures, nothing. Exactly as you see it here. And it's also pretty cancelable. Again, just not finished. I can show off what this does to enemies. Just yeets him. Oh. Let me finish up this fight and I'll show off all the amulets that are still in the game. It sucks. Especially with the way that they implemented it. There is a better way to do it, but it wouldn't even make a difference. Okay, well let me switch back. And I'll just keep the Alistair on. Do the 5-hit combo. There you go. All right. The amulets. Let's do the top one. So obviously you start with Electric Heart or Electro Heart, whatever it's called. But the others do exist. You have the Fire Heart. Let me actually turn on DT. Where did I put it? There it is. There. So the HUD is finished for it. I'm sure that the health is also there. Also, if you're paying really close attention, you can see the LOD loading in and out. I don't think that happens in the final game either. But anyways, we should. There we go. Now we're not gonna get the noise every time for it filling. There you go. There's the DT. It doesn't have the blue on it. The arm textures are completely fucked. Same with the legs. This is probably a version of the one we see in the early trailers. The muzzle flash is also orange. It's not because of the Fire Heart either. These are just like these. But anyways, here is the fire effects. Missing a lot of stuff. You can see that the lightning still comes out on a lot of stuff. Next would be the Frost Heart, right? Yeah. And the lightning goes all over the place. Now I made sure that it wasn't just shitty hacking on my part. The same thing that handles amulet switching and weapons and all that. It's identical in the retail game. This is how it is. It's just how they left it. I can't say the same for something else I'll show, but I'll get to that a little bit later. Next is the amulet on the left. These don't do anything. They're not different at all. Quick Heart is one of the most noticeable hearts in the retail game. You're not faster at all here. It's definitely not finished. I want to say that the Healing Heart is also different, or not finished, but I barely ever get hit in this demo, and I also can't really be asked to try it. What else? Right, that's a Strong Heart. But either way, the Quick Heart doesn't do shit. That one doesn't do anything. What's the thing? Right, that was the end. Chrono Heart. This doesn't do anything. When you hit stuff, it's like having nothing. Unfortunately, I would have liked to have seen like some other screen effect, or no screen effect at all, just anything different. But unfortunately, it does nothing. Next is the hearts on the right. This, as you can see, not different. The aerial heart, we know that's already in the game, and I'll switch to that in a minute. Aqua Heart is there. Dante has it. I have a theory why, but I can't really go into it yet. This is a demo that was released. Yeah, this was playable at TGS or E3, one of the two. I think it was TGS. People got to play this for a limited amount of time. Well, it's because they just took like a portion of the build, the full build that they had at the time, and they just put it out. You're not supposed to be accessing any of this stuff, but it's all there. You know, I just had to cheat engine all this stuff in. Well, it was on a disk, and it was given to me. Try stuff and data mine it. So yeah, that's it for the hearts. Now, I'm gonna show off something that hasn't been seen by the public before. We weren't even aware that this was a thing until, say, November of last year? Whenever the leaks dropped. Yeah. If you noticed, I didn't use SDT once. And that's because it's not officially implemented, but that doesn't mean that it's not in the game. So that's exactly what I'm going to show you right now. And I had to restart, because if I didn't, it loads in all weird. Watch it crash. Let's switch this. If it doesn't work, then I need to start from the very beginning, from the title screen. All I did was I switched the value that handles what mode you're in. It was surprisingly simple. Everything is like really neatly organized in this game. Yeah, there we go. So, it's obviously super unfinished. None of the moves are implemented. You can use your kicks and Helmbreaker, but that's it. Everything else is not in the game. You can fly if you want to, but again, it's not animated. Nothing connects, nothing hits. This is a variation of SDT that I technically had never seen before. This Devil Trigger was actually supposed to go through a number of changes during development. I have that model actually, but I had never seen it like this, with this specific texture. I'm not going to go into the specifics as to why it looks the way that it does. We have context to add to that, but that's for a different time. For now, this is more than I was even planning to show off. I didn't know that this was in until like last week. But yeah, it was super cool to come across this. And I will... if you guys want to get screenshots or something. There it is in all of its unfinished glory as he stands in thin air. But yeah, I made sure that, you know, I wasn't missing something, but it just looks like it's unfinished. I don't think there's anything else to him. Kinda sucks. But it was cool nonetheless to see this, because even the leaks didn't have these specific textures. And that was pretty sick. Well, let's zoom on by. Oh, we gotta descend. You can't actually hit anybody though, except for this. Yeah, here we go. I still have all my normal attacks. Well, some of them. I wish I could just go forwards and deal damage. It puts me in the motion and the state for using fireballs, but it doesn't do anything. Okay. Trust me, I tried, guys. Oh my fucking god. Now, there's no need to play through the entire mission again. Because you're not supposed to have the aerial heart here, you can sort of do some funky shit. They don't have any of the triggers for like hitting walls or whatever, right? So let me switch back to... I think this is gonna do some fuck shit. I'm gonna switch back to regular Dante. He should look really stupid. Yeah, okay. There we go. Bienvenidos, cursed Dante. Oh my god. And he just pops the fucking Shikodachi stance, dude. Holy shit. Look at the fucking crab walk. He's the spy, dude. Oh my god. Oh, he runs. He runs. I still see your shadows in my room. Holy fuck, man. Anyway. Aerial heart. Let me... Let me put that on, I guess. I'm not wrong, Bowie. Oh, it's fly, I guess. Oh, Lord. I'm gonna show off what's behind door number 1. Christ. Anyways. There is... there's a lot to go off of that indicated that the missions were much bigger than what they turned out to be. The missions that happen in the city are among some of the biggest, but it appears that these missions were also intended to be bigger. Mission 3 is where you fight the really big monkey boss. That takes place at the trolley station, which is just across from here. It's on the other side of that door. Finish off this bullshit. Do the DMC2 thing, except in this mode. So, like I said, trolley station is on the other side of this. We gotta do some fuck shit to get to the other side, so that is exactly what I'm gonna do. As soon as I get out of this stupid trigger. So now, the wall disappears, and we can see that there's actually an entire section. This is the area that plays in the cutscene. It's totally different in some areas compared to the actual playable version of this road. I actually took a look at one of the leak files, and the cutscenes show off that this was supposed to look like this. This area here is it's completely transparent. You can't go through here, there's nothing on this side. But let's keep flying towards the southern end. I can't fix it, Bowie! I'd have to restart the mission, and I'm not gonna do it. I'm doing it like this. Here, there's more stuff that you normally wouldn't get a great look at. This is the road where you run away from the goatling that's like firing magic shit at you, and then she didn't. Barricaded stores. None of this is solid, by the way. There's a solid piece coming up right here. And that's about all you're getting. Now, off in the distance, the trolley station is actually there. But, again, there's nothing in it. Oh my god! Okay, we're good. We're good. So, this is the beginning of Mission 3, or the end of Mission 2, which is the exit of the sewers. And it's never ever closed off like this. Normally the thing is just like slightly open, you can sort of see down or whatever. But this over here, this section, this road leads to that area that was closed off just before the first monkey fight. This is all one connected piece, one big level. I'm not going to go there yet because I don't want to have to out of bounds again later. Go down here. Again, there's nothing in this area. Oh, I hit a wall. Here we go. Okay. This texture doesn't show up properly. The rest of the level despawns, obviously. And this is where the cutscene takes place after Dante jumps with the motorcycle. Cursed Giant. I don't recall any of the songs being named that, but then again, I don't actually know songs. Is that the building boss? Nephosterus or whatever? Something else. This way. This is a 5 camera. Ah, yeah. So, on that other side is where the Mission 3 starting area was. Let's see if I can go over. I think I can. I have to fly up higher, though. Yeah, there we go. Okay, it leads right to this section over here. It's all one big piece. I don't remember it being played at the Monkey. I remember it obviously it plays at the building boss and the introduction, but I don't recall it being any. And then the Plutonian, he has his own theme song, I think. It should be the same one that played in the demo. Let's see. I think that's everything, though. I think that, well, everything that I can show off. I'm telling you, it probably seems like I'm bluffing with the year-long blue balling that I'm doing, but I promise you, the amount of shit that there is to show off, it would take like a month to really like go deep into what it is that we were able to recover. This is only like a small little piece. Some of the things I cannot fucking wait to show off, because they're game changing, man. They're so fucking ridiculous. We never would have thought any of that stuff was here. No, that's the thing. We don't fucking know. That there is not a single drop of who the original director was. Not one. I almost want to believe that there wasn't. But who the fuck knows? Yeah, let me... Yeah, there we go. Now we're in the real stance, the mode. Oh, I gotta do cartwheel. I gotta do the cartwheel, hold on. Oh, change value type. Oh god. Oh god! I might have to make that my fucking Twitter profile picture. Where's the... What's the... Oh, yeah. The stance! Oh, man. What a game. Alright, folks. That is the TGS E3, one of them, DMC2 demo. And it had a lot of cool stuff in it that I felt was worth showing off today. Probably was a cool way to end this Friday. No idea when I'll be able to show off more stuff, but it should be later this year. Hopefully soon. As always, feel free to contact me on Discord or whatever if you guys want to know about some of the publicly available promotional material. I've gone over it for the last 6-7 months. I don't think that there's a thing I missed, and there's plenty that I can't talk about, but anything that's public, feel free to at me. I'm more than happy to talk about it. I haven't found her yet. As soon as I do, you'll know. Now that the demo is public, anything that I find, as long as I'm allowed to, I'll show it off on Twitter. But other than that, I haven't seen her. Then again, I also don't know how to do character swaps. I have an idea, but that is coming soon, I guess. I don't know. If she has, you guys are gonna know. But either way, that's the demo. That's the stream. This is, by the way, unused cutscene that was only seen in promotional material. I have the raw files to all these cutscenes as well. It was one of the first things we saw. Really, really cool to see. But yeah, amazing stuff throughout the entire leak. Thanks again, Dany, for giving me this demo so that I could have a look at it. Tons of interesting finds, and I got to find that one sword that I really, really wanted. Anyways, that's the stream. Yeah, fuck